everybody. Welcome to the Soccer Sharps, a soccer betting podcast. Jordan, we're here for domestic league action from all 5 domestic European leagues. We're covering best bets from every single country, so stick around if that's what you're into, baby.
Martial, Herrera, Ibrahimovic! Oh my God, an insane goal! I've just seen the most insane goal I have ever seen on a football pitch! Balotelli, Aguero!
Jordan, we return for another weekend of domestic league action. I'm excited. We've got some pretty fun plays on the board, some plus money plays I'm excited to give out. But Jordan, how you doing on this fine Thursday evening?
I'm doing well, Dev. Doing really well. Probably better than you are. I know you heard about that devastating Cardinals loss there. They give you all the hope and then they take it away. But look, this isn't
no one
a
wants to hear about
show.
That. Yeah, different
this
football,
is a
man.
soccer show, Dev. And look, we're coming off of a winning show. It wasn't the best. It was kind of middling, to be honest, fair to middling. But we made a profit, and that's what we're here to do at the end of the day. So I'm happy with it, and hopefully it's a springboard to kick on for another weekend of European soccer. You want to take a look at our results, Dev?
Let's do it. Throwing this on the board here. Jordan, I went a cool 3-3 with
Still made money.
0.7 of a unit profit, which, you know, look, we'll take it. We'll take all the margins. And you did fared a little better, plus a unit on the day. On the weekend, indeed. I should say.
Not too bad. Yeah. So all told, we go plus 1.16 units for last weekend. Look, we'll take it, as you say. Plus, as long as we see a plus there, Dev, we're happy, and we move on to the next.
Well, I mean, how much did we lose on that PSG Marseille match? Was that minus 3 units on that?
3 units, yeah.
I just wanted to throw this stat out there that I saw that Marseille had not beaten PSG at home since 2011.
We know how to pick them.
Yeah.
Dev. If
that
nothing
was before Messi. That was before Neymar. That was before the whole Saudi, QSI or whatever came in and took over. That's how long it's been since they've beaten them, and they managed to do it as soon as we had 3 units on it. So congratulations to you, Marseille. We'll be getting to you later in the show. Jordan, we're jumping in to something a little bit different here. Programming, no. We will be back Monday night, so be sure to jump on Monday night. It's Champions League, baby. We're back. Another Champions League show. So we'll be live on Monday night, so be sure to set your timers. Hit the like, subscribe button, everything, so you can always get updated when we have new shows, when we go live, when you get a new one in your podcast app. So we always appreciate that. It helps us out a lot to grow this thing. But Jordan, we're actually going to start somewhere a little bit different today. We're not going to England where we usually start. We're actually heading over to La Liga because there's a Madrid derby. And you put this in Spanish on the screen here. It's El Derby Madrileño.
That's right.
Madrileño.
El Derby Madrileño.
Nicely done. It's Atletico Madrid hosting Real Madrid. This one sees Atletico as home dogs of 1/4 of a goal, and the total is set at 2.75. Jordan, Real Madrid, perfect so far in La Liga and Champions League. And Atletico, a bit of a shaky start to the season. How do you see this matchup shaking out?
Yeah, Dev, there's a scandalous rumor going around in our Discord server. By the way, if you're new to the show, we have a Discord server. It's free to join. Link is in the description. Come talk soccer bets with us in there. But yeah, there's a nefarious rumor, Dev, that Atleti have not been the same team ever since you and I attended Casa de Atleti in Los Angeles, California, over the summer. And it's hard to argue with, I have to say. We just said it. We know how to pick them. We know how to spoil the party. Atleti were looking pretty good. We go to that promo event, and they got absolutely trucked by PSG the following day, and it hasn't been great since, Dev. You said it. Tough start to the season. they look like they are still getting organized, like they need another preseason or something. Maybe we jinxed them. I don't know. But on the other side of the coin, with Real Madrid here, the other side of the city, I guess I should say, Xabi Alonso looks like his ideas starting to take hold. They're a team playing with confidence, and you said it, they're perfect. I think they stay perfect here, Dev. I think this is a good spot for them, honestly. They did well in the midweek, and as I say, they're brimming with confidence right now. I will say, to Atleti's credit, they've been better at home. I mean, if you can offer them anything, they've kept clean sheets at home, whereas when they go on the road, they get into these crazy games. You know, we saw it with Liverpool in the Champions League, where they did have a chance to come away with something from that. But yeah, when they go on the road, we're seeing like some pretty crazy scorelines. At home, they've been more solid, but against Real Madrid, I'm not sure it's going to matter here, Dev. I think there's a number of ways we can attack this. The first thing I looked at was just Madrid on the spread, maybe bring in half of a push in case it ends in a draw. But I'm kind of betting on this chaotic Atleti team. If they do get a draw, it's probably going to be a score draw. So I'm looking at goals here, Dev, and I'm going to look no further than the Real Madrid team total over 1.5, coming in at a nice symmetrical even money there, plus 100. Brings in the 2-2, the 3-3, all the craziness, even a crazy high-scoring Atleti win. So I think it's likely that if Real Madrid get 2 goals, they probably win the match. But I'm just going to stick with the 2 goals. And I know you're going to be a little more bullish.
Yeah, Drew, look, I saw the prices on this, and I said Real Madrid plus 125 on the money line. Look, it's their arch rival, second arch rival to Barcelona, who are at home here. But to me, I looked at this and I said, look, this is the first time Xabi Alonso has played against Simeone's Atletico here. And Atletico has been pretty good against Real over the years, over their head-to-head matchups. It's tight, it's really cagey. We see a lot of draws between these two. I'm actually looking at their head-to-heads right now. They did meet in the Champions League last season, which was a pretty epic tie. Ended up going to penalties in the second leg in that one, and Real were able to advance from it. But 3 straight draws before that, all 1-1s. But look, that's a different team. That was before we had Alonso come in here, and I just think tactically he's a little bit more advanced than Simeone, who's still trying to integrate some new pieces to this team. I will say they're a lot better with Julian Alvarez. He was a big miss in the Liverpool match. I was really disappointed he didn't get to play because I think we were on Atletico in that one. And then Liverpool pulled out another stoppage time winner.
Yeah, correction. You were on Atleti in that one. I had been multiple times burned by Liverpool, so stayed off it. But
stayed off it.
We're not going to do that today.
We'll get to them. We'll get to them. Yeah, so I was really disappointed when he wasn't on the team sheet. They're a different team when he's in there. We saw that in the midweek as he bagged a hat trick and was able to come back and win their game against Rayo Vallecano 3-2. So if he's in great form, it's a little bit scary. But look, Madrid is on the road and they're still favored by 1/4 of a goal. You think on the neutral, they're probably a half a goal better than this team. So in the same city, I'm just going to take that money line plus 135. I think it's pretty good value. Could be a draw. It's not usually how I bet these things because I'm a little bit scared of the draw possibility here, and I like to get maybe more than one outcome here. But like, when am I going to bet them minus 1/4 of a goal? No. I do like the way you attacked it. That's pretty wise. Goals can be at a premium in this matchup. That was why I was a little scared off of that. Could see a 1-0. So I'm happy to take Real Madrid on the money line here.
Yeah, hopefully one of us gets it, right? We're rooting for the 2-1 Real Madrid scoreline. That's what we want here. Anything better than that would just be gravy, but hopefully it's at least 2-2 or 1-0 Real or something. So one of us gets a unit on the board, Dev, for the first play of the weekend.
No, not 2-2. No. I need the win.
No, I'm saying one or the other would work for us.
Wouldn't work for me.
Obviously, Dev wasn't listening. He'll listen back on the next one.
Love to hear it. We're getting salty with me on game 1. We haven't even gotten to the Premier League. So let's head over there now. We've got Newcastle United hosting Arsenal. And this one sees Newcastle is quarter of a goal home dogs, and the total is set at a low 2.25, though all the juice is on the over on that one. Jord, Arsenal eking out the draw against Manchester City over the weekend. Newcastle, I don't even know who they played on the weekend. I just know they lost to Barcelona in the Champions League. We got two Champions League teams here with a look-ahead spot, but now they're facing off at St. James's Park. What do you think about this matchup, Jordan?
Well, Deb, this is a match that should have some serious needle in it. These two teams have developed quite the little rivalry over the last couple of seasons where we see a lot of chippiness, especially in the fixtures at St. James's Park. And I think we see more of the same here. I think Newcastle know that they're a little goal shy at the moment. They're missing a gelling attack. They're not really scoring a lot of goals. And I think they know the best way to try and get something from this match is to frustrate this Arsenal team and the way they want to play.
What about your boy Vuldemada?
Well, he was terrible over the weekend. This previous match. The stats were shocking for him as an individual, but yeah, I'm not sure he gets much joy in this one against this Arsenal backline. Look, honestly, you could argue that these are the two best defenses in the Premier League, right? Newcastle, no slouches keeping the ball out of the back of the net either. We know what Arsenal can do. And Dev, the head-to-heads bear this out. I mean, every time these teams meet, pretty much, it's going under. That's why the total is lined the way it is, under 2.25 or over 2.25. But I got a stat, Dev. Funny enough, I've actually double dipped in this match, Dev. I got 2 plays from this one, which is probably shocking to you on account of we always struggle to bet Arsenal matches. It's never a good idea. We just cannot get them right. But look, it's a new season. We haven't done it a lot.
That means we're due for it.
That's right. That's right, Dev. And so I double dipped. And the first thing I alluded to, I'm taking the under, but I was able to get a good price on under 2.5 at minus 130. So I took that. It's my first play. But the one, Dev, that this is going to be a shocking stat for anyone that doesn't know it already. In 15 of the last 16 meetings between these two clubs, both teams to score no has cashed. 15
of 16
of the last 16. So only one match did not see both teams or someone getting blanked. So I'm going with that, Dev. I think there's every chance we could see a 0-0 here. I think there's a chance we could see a 1-0 either way. Both teams to score no, minus 106. That's too big for that kind of data. So that's my double dip, Dev. I'm going under 2.5 here in what I think is going to be a feisty affair where we probably see a lot of cards. And I kind of lean Arsenal minus 1/4 there. I think they probably win this. I think they're probably the ones to win this 1-0. I talked about the goal shyness we're seeing from Newcastle, but we've talked about it on the show a lot. They do raise their game for the big teams. So I could see it either way. Don't want to get involved with the side. So under 2.5 at minus 130 and both teams to score no, minus 106.
Oh, I like the way you're attacking this, Jordan. I elected to stay off it. I wanted to pass here. These two teams are number 1 and number 2 in expected goals allowed in the Premier League through 5 games. Newcastle number 1, Arsenal number 2. So I think you're on the right track there with a defensive match and unders match. Both teams score no. Not a bad shout there. For me, if I was going to take something in this match, I'd just take Arsenal on the money line. They're just the better team, I would say, right now. Newcastle, you mentioned they're struggling to score goals. Voltemada's he's like a luxury piece, you know? He's like a Peter Crouch type. He's just a big guy who can sort of get in the mix, but he's not a killer like Isak is. Obviously, you know, few players are Isak, but he'll always be compared to him because of the situation there.
And as our third brother pointed out, he also looks like the guy who would sell you a dime bag at the gas station, Nick Voltemada. It definitely has.
I had a picture of him I could pull up on the screen because it's so true. Oh, man. Yeah, he's definitely like selling counterfeit vapes out of the back of an Arco.
Yeah.
But
hey, yeah, chat. What are you saying about this? We got some peeps in the chat here. I know we're starting a little later tonight, so Probably got sleepy heads over on the East Coast and beyond. But whoever's in the chat, Victor Saba's talking about Forest. As always, we're not going to cover Forest on this show, sadly, Victor. But yes, Forest indeed. Guys, what do you think's happening in this match? What are your best bets as we go through the show? Do throw them in the chat or say whatever, and we'll respond.
Yeah, so I like how you're attacking this, but for me, yeah, Arsenal with the platoons of players they can bring in and attack now. They have a new play style that they didn't have last season, which is to really switch it up in the 60th or 70th minute and bring on a whole new wave of attackers. And we've seen it pay dividends so far for them this season. So I like Arsenal here, but I elected to stay off it because Newcastle at home is tricky. They're tricky. So let's move on to another tricky home team, Jordan. It's Crystal Palace at home against Liverpool. Palace at this one are home dogs of a half a goal, and the total is set at 2.75. Jord, I'll tell you right now, if you listen to this show, if you've been a long-time listener, you know exactly where we're going with this. So what do you think about this matchup, Jord?
Well, Dev, you said it. Palace, certainly one of the tricky home teams here. And just to pull up some stuff from the last match, Bob in the chat says, I like your bets, Jordan, which you know I love to hear. Probably 1-0 Arsenal is Bob's prediction. I could see it, Bob. I could see it. And Victor has changed from Forest to Arsenal. All right. So
at least you got the game right. Good job on you, Victor.
Good job, Vic. Yeah, look, Palace, Dev, another stat. 18 matches unbeaten now. I don't think enough is made about that, right? Like, people aren't talking about them as if they're title contenders, because probably they're not, right? But with form like that, it's in the conversation, right? And especially in these early days, if you can't be beat, you got a chance. So they've actually done quite well against Slot in this Liverpool team. We know about the Community Shield. We know they took care of that. Maybe that means it's tougher here. Maybe, you don't want to face the same team so close in quick succession, especially now that they've lost Eze. And I think Sarr is a doubt for this one. I did hear that he might be back, but mixed reports. We'll see. Hopefully he is. But, the way Palace will be competitive in this match, Dev, if they are, is defensively, right? We saw what Burnley were able to do to this Liverpool team, that if you can be compact and if you can play well defensively, you stand a chance. And that was a heartbreaker for Burnley that ended in stoppage time. But that's been the way a lot of these Liverpool matches have gone this season. But, Dev, we're here to pick value. And with Liverpool, with Hugo Ekitike in the midweek getting 2 yellow cards, a stupid decision to take his shirt off after he scored the winner, getting his second yellow, he cannot play in this match, despite it being in another competition. And Arne Slot has said...
I just want to say, he took his shirt off and did the messy, like, holding his shirt up to the crowd thing. And it's the fucking Carabao Cup, dude. Yeah, it's the EFL Cup. Relax. And it's who, I don't even know who it was. They're playing a third division team. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. And can I also say, it's just so much less impactful when you take the shirt off if you have Under Armour on underneath it.
Right. Yeah. You're wearing the dry fit performance underwear.
I need abs. I need washboard abs exposed in rage and excitement. That's what I need. So, yeah, stupid yellow card from him. And look, Arne Slot's come out and said that Alexander Isak can't really go more than 60 minutes. So we'll see what happens. I think we got to back Palace. Do you want to get in the way of that with Palace at home here? Haven't been beaten in 18 matches. One of the stoutest defenses. Our American boy, Chris Richards, in the back line, always threatening from a set piece. And a Liverpool team that we know are kind of suspect. You and I have said it. They're kind of fraudulent. They're a fraudulent 5-0 or whatever it is. Is it 4-0? 5-0. Yeah.
6 if you count Champions League.
Yeah, but they find a way. And so I know we're both going with the same play in this one. We're taking Palace on the handicap here, Dev, getting that half a goal, basically the double chance. The price is too good to pass up. We're both going to do it, which means we have 2 units on the line. So lock in your bets for Liverpool to win in stoppage time.
Yeah, minus 120 for Liverpool on the money line. I mentioned it earlier as I was introing the game. If you've listened to our show, you know we're taking a home dog, getting a half of a goal. That's crazy. In the Premier League, Liverpool look ahead spot here. Ekitike suspended. Um, I mean, you look at the front, the attack for Liverpool is just terrifying, right? Isak, Salah, Verts, Gakpo, Gravenberg. Everybody's on Gravenberg now. I was talking about Gravenberg when he was on Ajax under Ten Hag.
It's true.
Okay,
It's
two
true.
teams ago.
You
But now he's
love.
getting his flowers, and I'm happy for him. But let's not forget these teams met in that FA Cup final last season. Crystal Palace getting their first trophy in ever, possibly a major trophy ever. And that ignited an entire shitstorm for them to get into the Europa versus Conference League. But they were able to prevail against Liverpool. And how they do it, you mentioned defensively. Mark Gahey, he's auditioning for Liverpool right now. That's his future team, future club. It's all but sealed and decided already. So he's going to want to come out and put in a good performance. And Palace, they're tricky. The Ismaila Sarr probably being out, news really took the wind out of my sails a little bit on this play. That really scared me because he's their best attacking player right now. But I am seeing like possible return date this weekend. But then I'm seeing other things saying he's ruled out. So that's going to be a game time decision. Look at those lineups. You might get a better price if he is ruled out. But yeah, Jordan, look, for me, it's look no further. Home dog. Yes, they're playing the champions, but a somewhat fraudulent champions. This Crystal Palace team is, let's see, they are top 2 in expected goal differential in the league. Liverpool is all the way down in 8th. Took me a minute to count how far down they were. Because Crystal Palace is solid on both ends. They're really well coached. They're really disciplined, and they've been playing together for a while. Their backline is excellent. Daniel Munoz, my Colombian international, is excellent going forward and defending. Really an all-around player. You mentioned the American Chris Richards. We gotta love this guy with his afro out there. So yeah, Jordan, I want to be on the dog here, and Liverpool to just finally hit a speed bump. Maybe just hit a little speed bump, drop some points here for the first time this season.
Love it, Dev. Yeah. Can they come back to earth, please? They can't keep getting away with that.
Well, we got one more Premier League game for you guys, and it's Tottenham Hotspur against Wolves of Wolverhampton. This one sees Spurs as -1 goal favorites at home, and the total is set at 2.75. Jordan, I know you passed on this game, but what do you think about it when you look at the lines here?
Well, I mean, the first thing I think, like all things being equal, it looks like a free hit for Spurs, right? At home here, -1 on the handicap. They probably win the game. Wolves are winless to start the Premier League season. And not only winless, lossful to start the Premier League season. Every match has been a loss, is what I'm trying to say. But, Dev, what you don't want in life is a wolf backed into a corner. So I elected to stay off of this one because I'm just like, you know what? What would be the Spursiest thing to happen right now? Spurs -1 favorite at home against a Wolves team who have been beaten in every match. Something about it just makes me squeamish, and I didn't want to mess with the total. It probably goes over. I lean over. I lean Spurs -1, but I elected to stay off it. I'll cede it to you. What are you seeing here?
Well, Jordan, I'm seeing a Wolverhampton team that has the lowest expected goals in the Premier League. Bottom 3 in expected goals allowed. And I don't see them getting any better. They sold their best players. They replaced them with some interesting players, but not ones that can really put goals up. And that's the results we're seeing, unfortunately, for this team. It looks like a team that tried to rebuild and just got it wrong, or they've sort of run out of gas in the Premier League. They're going down this season. Unless there's a major turnaround, unless they fire the coach, and it doesn't appear they're going to because they extended Pereira. We talked about that.
Yeah.
And then on the Spurs side of this, you mentioned being Spursy. It's a different Spurs team. These are European champions, Jordan. And Thomas Frank has just got this team solid. They are solid front to back. Now, there may be some rotation. They've got a look-ahead spot here in the Champions League. But boy, Kudus, Xavi Simons, Kolomouani, Brennan
Don't
Johnson.
you talk about Judas Kudus. Not in my
Judas
presence.
Kudus, how can you let a guy like that go, man? He is good. I know he hasn't been necessarily like in the numbers of goals and assists, but the eye test, it shows this guy's a baller.
Best dribbler in the Prem.
And they're okay, yeah, I could see that. I mean, Doku might have something to say about that. But the defense for Spurs as well, they rotated. They played Paulinho at center back in the midweek, which we thought was interesting because they were giving Van de Ven and Romero a rest. Because those two guys, if they're fit and they're healthy back there, I mean, this team's really difficult to beat. So for me, it was just a free hit here, George. Spurs -1, -125. It's not the best price I've ever seen, but they gonna win the game at home against Wolves. So can they do it by a margin? I worry about this Wolves team. I think this could get ugly. I think this could be 3 or 4-0 kind of thing. So I'm happy to take that -1. I think it's moved out to -1.25 at this point by the time you guys listen to this, probably. So shop around on that and see how much juice you're willing to lay, because I'm not giving the baby hook. We talked about the baby hook last week. No baby hook. No baby hook.
Adult
-1's
hook
good for me. Yeah. Well, George, let's move on from the Premier League over to France in Ligue. And this one's kicking off tomorrow on Friday. So get your bets in if you guys are hearing this in time. It's Strasbourg against Marseille. Strasbourg are half a goal favorites at home, and the total is set at
dogs.
I'm sorry. You're right. Half a goal dogs at home, and the total is set at 2.75. Jordan, Marseille just whooped our ass. They just belt to asked us 3 units in the toilet because they beat PSG, and it was like the Super Bowl for them. I've never seen the celebrations were crazy. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you guys, it's a 1-0, relax. But that's how important it is. That's how important that match was for this team. Now they got to turn around from a Monday to a Friday and play against this Strasbourg team. What do you think about this matchup, Jordan?
Yeah, Dev, act like you've been here before, right, Marseille? Oh, wait, you haven't been here before. So
since 2011.
Yeah, we get it. It's fair enough. But yeah, shame on Marseille. Like, we've been good to them. We've backed them a lot of the time this season.
I backed them. They double bagged me against Real Madrid in Champions League. So shame on me, I guess.
And then they take us for 3 units. Horseshit. I blame the postponement of that match with the rains and thunder and Marseille. It was all dicked up from that point. We knew we were
conspiracy.
Screwed.
Yeah, their boy is winning the Ballon d'Or, like while Kvaratskhelia is also on the list and he's having to play. I mean, it's got to be bad for team morale, right?
Yeah, maybe. Except that Dembele was also injured, like he couldn't contribute to the match. So it's like, whatever. He's probably going to win it. Send him. But look, Dev. This ain't about PSG. This is about Marseille. And you said it already. They had to play on a Monday. Their game got postponed. It was moved to a Monday, and now they have to play again on Friday. That's a really short turnaround. And Dev, they celebrated, as you say, like they won the Super Bowl. That's not a great spot to come into here after those high emotions. I feel like this is a classic letdown spot. You're traveling on the road just a few days later when you just beat your arch rivals, the main team that you're trying to beat, the team that if you beat them, you actually might have title aspirations. And now you got to go to this Strasbourg team, who are the last team you want to play in this situation, Dev. We haven't talked about Strasbourg a lot on this show. They were a revelation last season, and it looks like that's carried on to this season. They're a team that do not have a lot of household names for most soccer fans. Most people probably the biggest name they recognize is Ben Chilwell playing at left back.
Let's go.
They've really just been kind of maligned for being sort of a feeder club into Chelsea because they have the same ownership, and there's been a lot of sort of shady transfers between the two sides. Chilwell. But this team is good. They're organized and they get results. They've been one of the better teams in Liga for the last few seasons, and they've started well again here, Dev. They're in the top 4. They are a quality side, And this is a trap game for Marseille, 100%. And you're giving me the team who you could argue right now is more organized and a little less chaotic than De Zerbi's men over at Marseille at home here with the double chance. I can't pass that up here, Dev. This is one of my favorite plays of the week. It's it's Strasbourg plus a half a goal on the Asian handicap, minus 125. I love this bet. Love it too much, probably.
George, yeah, I'm looking at the head-to-head matchups here, and it looks like 6 straight meetings between the two. Strasbourg are unbeaten in their head-to-heads against Marseille. That bodes well for a home team here, getting a half of a goal. You mentioned the big letdown spot here for Marseille. Not to mention they got to look ahead, too, because they're playing Ajax in the midweek in Champions League. I would love for Strasbourg to get points here. Any kind of points, because I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to bet Marseille against Ajax. Or at least take the goals. But Jordan, I like to stay off this one. It's on Friday. I never look at the Friday games. We're recording on Thursday night. But I like where your head's at. I love the gamesmanship of it because Marseille, little too excited for that victory on Monday night. Little too excited to turn around and get serious about Racing Club de Strasbourg.
Ooh, I like it, Dev. And yeah, a little too ekatike with it, I think, Marseille. But
don't take your shirt off and show it to the crowd just yet. It is September.
Early days. And Dev, it's funny, Ajax have come up twice now. We talked about it with Gravenberch. We just mentioned it now. We really loved that Ajax team that went so deep in the Champions League. Isn't it hilarious? Their manager was Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag's Ajax. And you look at Gravenberch, he's moved on to greener pastures. Same can't be said for Mr. Ten Hag. It's a real shame.
Yeah. Well, Ten Hag, R.I.P. He's doing just fine.
Yeah,
George, let's move on. We got 2 more leagues to cover because we're covering the entire continent here. And we've got the Serie. It's AC Milano against Napoli. This one sees Milan as home favorites of a quarter of a goal, minus 0.25. Total is set at 2.25. Jordan, I was shocked when I saw that Milan were favorites at home, but that just shows the kind of form that they've been in this season. They have been excellent. And look, Napoli, no slouches. They're still top of Serie A at this point, so this should be a titanic clash. What do you think about this matchup?
Yeah, Dev, Milan have been a surprise. They've really shored up the defense, right? I mean, it's like that was their big problem last season for sure. They were so open, like under Fonseca. Actually, they've been like that for a while, right? Just kind of like what we talked about with Atleti on the road earlier. It's just like these chaos games that they could never get on the right side of. But probably it shouldn't be a surprise because in the summer they brought in Mats Allegri, a famous Juventus manager whose whole thing is play terrorist ball and grind out ugly 1-0s, which hasn't necessarily been what they're doing so far, but defense first is his vibe. So I get that. It's probably why the totals line like it is, because it's not like Napoli are into playing high octane matches necessarily, although they can do it. This is one where the total is set so low, I kind of lean over. And I kind of think there's value on Napoli on that quarter of a goal, Dev. So what I've done is, big surprise, a hand-ringy play, a bet builder, an SGP. I'm moving Napoli's spread up to a full half a goal. Napoli plus a half a goal as the double chance. Napoli or draw, parlayed with over 1.5 goals. Bringing in that 1-1, which I think is a real runner here. If you wanted to sprinkle a little pizza money on a correct scoreline, 1-1 in this one, I could see it. But yeah, a 1-1, and then any other draw beyond that, or a Napoli victory of more than 1-0 would bring in all those score lines for me for this play. And that comes in at a nice plus 100. I'm sorry, actually, this one comes in at plus 125, which is way too big for that kind of thing here, Dev. I was shocked when I saw that. And there is huge discrepancies between the prices on different books, because I saw it as short as minus 110, minus 107, and plus 125 where I got it. So do shop around if you like the taste of that play. But Dev, you have another side of this. And what's that jersey you're wearing?
Right, Jordan, I got the throwback AC Milan on right now. Champions League
6? 5?
7. The final in Athens. Yeah, so throwback, definitely fake. Thank you, Colombians, for putting this one up for me. Jord, I was looking at the draw outright here, plus 230. This is just 1-1 is written all over it. Both of these managers would just be salivating at a 1-1. It's all they want. No one wants to win a game. They just want to draw them. In the end, I elected to go with a similar play. Both teams to score, yes. This feels like a huge game, actually, because I think AC Milan are resurgent. They've made some really interesting signings. Well, both of these teams, really, they're both playing in a really similar way where they have Napoli has Kevin De Bruyne. AC Milan has Luka Modric, who's dropping way back into almost the back 3, back 4 in buildup and playing as this like deep lying playmaker where he's just he's almost quarterbacking the team for AC Milan. I loved watching them this weekend. They had a 3-0 victory. It's just fascinating the way they're playing. Pulisic's in great form, the American. My fear here is that Napoli doesn't score because still no Lukaku. They're still starting Højlund up top. I think he's, obviously doing better. He's out of Manchester United, but can they get on the score sheet? That would be the nervy one for me. But I think if AC Milan continue to play the way that they have, if Modric is in that lineup, I think they've got goals in them. So if they get one, it's going to force Napoli out. And then I could definitely see both teams getting on the board here. You got it listed at -110. I saw it as low as -105 on some books. So be sure to shop around on all these things. The Serie A is maybe getting strange numbers across these matches. You look at some of the underlying numbers between these teams. You know how I love my expected goal differential, Jord. AC Milan, top of the table right now, sitting third in the actual table, but number 1 in the XG differential. It means they're doing it on both ends, and I think they're pretty exciting. This is actually going to be a fun one to watch if you're into like a tactical, slow build kind of match. It's not going to be end to end, but it's going to be exciting, I think, for those involved. So this one kicking off on Sunday, Jordan. Both teams to score, yes. I also think you mentioned this. The line is set at 2.25 for the over. Just move that to 2.5. Get plus money if you like goals here. Absolutely could be over 3 goals in this.
Yeah, and I love it when you say doing it at both ends, Dev. It just gets me saucy. Pulisic, according to Bob DeVita, is the lowest ATG, which is anytime goal scorer, at plus 265, plus 300 and higher for everyone else. So, yeah, take some stabs there. Maybe you got any bonus bets or safety net bets. Take a stab here because I think there will be a goal or two.
Yeah, I agree. Just the way these two teams are playing, and in Italy, they're so happy to allow teams to build up. They're like, we'll sit back and defend. You guys can have the ball in midfield. And when you've got just a pinpoint passer like Modric and De Bruyne there picking out passes, there should be some exciting attacks. But Jordan, we got one more matchup for you guys, and it's over in the Bundesliga. We've got Freiburg against Hoffenheim. This one sees Freiburg as home favorites, of a quarter of a goal. Total set at a flat 3. Jordan, that flat 3 sounds like a gift, doesn't it?
Yeah, Dev. Look, Freiburg, fear the badge, fear the goals. Hoffenheim, they're a sieve most of the time. That rhymed. Yeah, Dev, I think you probably play goals in this match. I didn't get into it. I think I mentioned on the last show that
I haven't started capping Bundesliga yet. Boo, 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 boo. Well, you better start because I'm on them, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. Boy, those little brothers, they really know how to get under your skin, don't they? Anyone in the chat, anyone watching, you know about the little brothers. They really get under there. Yeah, Dev, I'll just pass it to you, all right? Because you got to play for this game.
Yeah, look, I'm just going to throw one of these up every single show we do, Jordan. It's a Bundesliga, both teams to score, and over 2.5 goals here. we've seen over 2.5 goals in 6 straight Freiburg matches, in 7 straight Hoffenheim matches, both teams scoring 5 of the last 6, Freiburg's 4 of the last 5, Hoffenheim. Both teams are getting on the board. It may be late. This could be one you look at maybe taking a live over if you've got the stones to like sweat out the first 15 minutes. Because it seems like teams are just scoring late, particularly in Freiburg matches. They love getting tired late in the game. Subs come on and they give up goals. There's not much more analysis to this. You could also take the over 3. Now that I'm looking at that at -103, that might be the better play, but I want to cash on a 2-1. So I'm going with the both teams to score and over 2.5. George, we've seen over under in the last 10 meetings between these two, 7 and 3 on the total. So, and that number is above 2.5. So 7 and 3 in the head-to-heads. 4 straight overs for Freiburg, I mentioned, and 3 straight overs with 1 push for Hoffenheim on the total so far this season in the Bundesliga. So yeah, give me that both teams scoring over 2.5 here, George. Simple play.
I was going to say, is your fear, or not fear, but is the reason now you're looking at it maybe the over 3 better than the BTTS and over 2.5 because you're a little scared Hoffenheim don't get on the board? Because I was wondering what the value might be on both teams to score first half, Dev, or at least first half over 1.5.
Yeah, I wouldn't put anyone off taking anything in the direction of goals and team scoring everywhere in this thing. I personally don't love splitting the half if you're going over. I like splitting it in half if you're going under, personally. But Arnold in the chat says 2-3 Hoffenheim. Well, yeah, I'll take it. That cashes my bet. Hoffenheim with the road victory.
Yeah, both.
Quarter goal dogs. Love to see it.
Yeah, if you took Hoffenheim money line and both teams to score yes, whoo! Nice price on that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But look, Jordy, yeah, I think I'm just going to do one of these every week. We're just going to call it the both teams to scoring over Bundesliga play. Because almost all these games see that score line.
Yeah, I better catch up and start figuring out the Bundesliga, Dev, because I'm letting us down already. It's week 5. You kidding me? I still haven't capped the Bundesliga. But look, Dev, it's one thing to talk about these matches, and it's quite another to put our money where our mouths are and pay the bookie.
Chuck, I'm going to tell you something. You have that fucking 200 in my hands tomorrow. If you ain't got the 200 in my fucking hands tomorrow, I'll break every fucking bone in your body.
Well, let's throw the official plays, the best bets on the board here, Jord. I'll read mine off for you. I've got Real Madrid on the money line, plus 135. Are you kidding me? When do you get this team at that price? Crystal Palace, plus a half a goal on the Asian handicap. Jord, you're with me on that one, minus 105. Let's ride together. Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur, -1 on the Asian handicap. Free hit territory, minus 125. AC Milano against Napoli. Both teams to score yes, minus 110. I found a better price, but we'll leave it at the minus 110. I'm happy with that too. Jord, Freiburg, Hoffenheim, both teams to score over 2.5 at minus 125.
Love it, Dev. And I've got a different way to attack the Derby de Madrileña. And it is Real Madrid, a team total over 1.5 at even money. Then I've got a double dip, Dev, a double dip in Nuki Arsenal, Newcastle United Arsenal under 2.5 coming in at minus 130. Do shop around for that. And Newcastle United Arsenal, both teams to score no, minus 106. As Dev already mentioned, we're both on this one. Crystal Palace plus a half a goal at home, minus 105. My best bet of the weekend here tomorrow on Friday, Strasbourg plus a half a goal at home as well, minus 125. And finally, in a Serie, Napoli double chance and over 1.5 at a robust plus 125.
Nice, Jordan. Well, we got some plus money plays in there. We got some parlays. We got all kinds of betting action for you guys. And if you're a fan and if you are even just outright fading us, throw us a like. If everybody who is watching this live gave us a like on this video, it would help us tremendously. Costs you nothing and gives you good karma for these plays for the weekend, baby. And of course, don't forget, we've got Champions League coming up on Monday, so we'll have another live show for that one. Be sure to hop in here. Give us your best bets. We want to share some of the ideas, share some of the ways to attack these matchups, attack the bookies, because we all want to make money off these books, right, Jordan?
Oh, we all do, Dev. Yes, indeed. Yeah, look, thanks everyone for tuning in. We did it a little late tonight, so we lost some of the numbers of our East Coast peeps, but appreciate everyone who did jump in live with us tonight. Chat was a little quiet, but it's okay. They're sleepy. It's getting a little late. Do appreciate it, though. And if you like the show, please spread the word. Send links, like, follow, subscribe, all the stuff. We're trying to grow this thing. We're organic. We're indie. It's, give us a little boost. We do appreciate it. I'm rambling here, Dev.
Wait, Jor, before you get out of here, what's that kit you got on there? Let me see that
Oh,
badge. You got a, is it Real Betis? Who you got? Oh, no.
No, I tried to flash it earlier when you were talking about Colombian Daniel Munoz. Why? Because this is a Colombian side here, Dev.
Nice.
From Medellin. Our guy Pablo Escobar's homeland. And the reason we're focusing on this was a gift from my brother Devin when he was traveling in Colombia. He brought it back.
See, little brothers aren't that bad. Okay.
That's right. I love you, Dev.
Love you too, buddy. Look, everybody who's listening, thank you so much. Let's make some money.
Let's make some money.
Martial.